Hello, sweeties. I have this month's Fandom Flakies box to share with you today. This month's polishes and products are inspired by the movie The Mummy. First up is I Am a Librarian by Bee's Knees Lacquer. This is described as a mid-tone neutral with rose gold metallic flakes, matte black flakes, and a scattering of hollow flakes. Shown here in 2 coats. You may need 3 if you have a longer free edge. It does dry with a little bit of texture, so a top coat is needed for a full glossy finish. Next is Night Owl Lacquer's No Harm Ever Came from Reading a Book, described as a maroon base filled with pink, gold, and green shifting micro flaky shimmer and bronze reflective glitter pigment. Shown here in 2 coats, dries with a good amount of texture due to the reflective glitter, so a top coat is needed for a smooth glossy finish. First shown under studio lighting and then lower lighting. The lower lighting really captures the green and gold shift, especially the gold. This also contains reflective glitters, so here it is under the lower lighting with a flash, and here is where the pink shift as well as the bronze reflective glitter very much show themselves. And lastly, we have one of the add-on items for the box, which is a sheet of water slide decals by Ribbit Stickits. You can grab these for $7. I start out by cutting all of the little images I plan on using, getting as close to the image as possible. For my index and pinky, I applied 1 coat of a sheer very pale tan shade. You can apply more than 1 coat if you rather, but once you build up with the nail art layers, whether it's super opaque or not won't really matter. I was trying to go for a messy mummy wrap type look without it being super detailed, so I started by making a few straight lines with dark gray. Those don't have to be super clean and perfect. Remember that the point of these nails is to have a century-old mummy wrap look. Next, with a reddish brown polish, I dry brush randomly over the nail, and I also repeat this step using the same light tan color I used as my base. To achieve the dry brush effect, you remove most of the polish from the brush before applying it to the nail. Just make note to clean the neck of your polish bottles after this. Once fully dry, I take a Q-tip and dip it in some white paint and then dab that onto the nail. And I take the other side of the Q-tip and I dab that into some water so that it washes the white out a bit, as I didn't want it to be super bright white, plus it gives it more of that old faded look. I did this so that when I apply the decal onto the nail, it would stand out a bit more over the gray lines behind it. Once the white dried, I took the light tan polish and dabbed just a little bit of that over it because I still felt like the white was just a bit too bright. Now time for the decals. I drop each decal into room temp water for about 15 to 20 seconds, and then I apply it onto a clear stamper head, being sure to remove any of the excess water that's been left behind. Using white paint, and you can use polish, but I just prefer paint as it's easier to work with. I tried to paint as close to the edge of the image as possible, and I do this step so that I can apply the decal over a dark shade and still be able to see the image clearly. I do this for any of the decals that will be going over a darker base, and for this specific decal, I'll be applying it over the Night Owl lacquer polish, so it definitely needs a white backing in order for it to really be seen. I apply a coat of sticky base coat to the nail and I let that dry just a bit, just enough so that it's still a little bit tacky so that the decal has something to adhere to. I seal everything in with a fast dry top coat, and once that dries, I then applied a matte top coat. I just felt like with this sandy desert type theme, a matte top coat fit with it much better. And here is the finished result. I'm happy with it. I think the decals really worked well with this month's set of polishes, and that creepy screaming image of Imhotep has me cringing. I feel like both of these polishes go along with the theme really well, and I definitely get that sandy desert vibe from the Bee's Knees lacquer polish with those rose gold and black flakes, reminding me of like tiny specks of rocks and sparkly sand from the desert. And the Night Owl lacquer shift of gold and that reflective glitter reminds me of like sparkly treasure just waiting to be found. Which is your favorite from this month's box? Let me know in the comments below. This month's Fandom Flaky box is available June 14th through June 21st at fandomflakies.com. You have the option of purchasing the entire box of 2 limited edition polishes for $22 plus shipping, and additionally, you can add items to your order such as the decals from Rivet Stickets. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!